Welcome to the Taproom Exclusive. I am your host, Dean Zarbaugh. Today's show is sponsored by House of Helga. Are you a brewery looking for some vibrant, stunning artwork to slap on that freshly bottled or canned beer? Or maybe you're starting a brewery and need help coming up with a logo. If so, contact House of Helga for all your design needs. They've worked with Masthead, Streetside, and yours truly here at the Taproom Exclusive. You can check out Kyla's entire portfolio of incredible work at houseohelga.com. On today's show, I chat with Missing Falls Brewery's brewer and co-founder Mark Cernak and co-founder Will Myers over their tasty Terror of the Seven Seas Imperial IPA. But first, a taste of what's going on in the craft beer world with this week's Tasting Glass, brought to you by Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery News. Be sure to join me at Collision Bend on Thursday, September 26th at 5 p.m. for the tapping of our collaboration small batch double IPA called the Taproom Exclusive. This double IPA will only be available at Collision Bend for a limited time, so don't miss out. Located at 1250 Old River Road in the East Bank of the Flats, thank you to Luke and Ben for having me as a guest to the brewery and to help brew. I can't wait to drink it. A new brewery is coming to Lakewood. Immigrant Sun Brewing Company filed for their A1C permit this week. Stay tuned for more information. As a resident of Lakewood, I personally can't wait to have something in my backyard. Rick Arman of the Akron Beacon Journal and Ohio.com has the details about Market Garden Brewery's foray into the cider game. Their Magus Cider Company ciders will only be available starting on draft this fall, with cans following shortly thereafter in spring. For more details, you can check out Rick's article on Ohio.com. And that's all for this week's Tasting Glass. My interview with Mark and Will from Missing Falls Brewery in Akron, Ohio is up next. Welcome back to the Taproom Exclusive. I am Dean Zarbaugh. I'm here at Missing Falls. We have moved on to the Terror of the Seven Seas. This is an Imperial IPA, 7.77% alcohol, and 177 IBUs. And that's a big number to see on a menu. And I'm loving it. I'm about to try it for the first time.
Well, let's see what you think.
Oh, that's really good IPA. That's really nice.
Packs a punch and stays with you a while there.
Yeah. So tell the story about this beer. A lot of sevens in this.
Yeah.
Where's the name come from? And how do you get it to kind of keep at 7.7 and how do you get the IBUs up to that? I know that's a lot of questions in one.
Yeah, it's a lot. One, IBUs, hops are IBUs, so we use a grotesque amount of hops in there. The beer actually was originated by one of our other owners with us and our other brewer, Sean Hamilton.
Okay.
It was a beer him and Kenny were making as home brewers, and they really liked it, so we worked the recipe. And it's always been popular from the first time we've tried it as home brewers all over the years. This has to date back at least 6-7 years on when we wrote the recipe. It's kind of unique because it's Terror of the Seven Seas. 7 Seas being that we use 7 different hop varieties, all starting with the letter C.
Okay.
So you're probably going to ask, what are those hop varieties?
You're prepared. Let's go through it.
They're hard to keep in memory, but when you got the cheat sheet, it's easy to follow.
Going backwards alphabetical order.
Yeah, okay. So we use Chinook, Columbus, Centennial, Challenger, Cluster, Cascade, and Citra.
Challenger. I'm not familiar with that one.
I believe that's an American hop.
Okay.
Like I said, this recipe came out of Sean, so he had this
absolutely.
set before we got here. I've never worked with Challenger prior to this beer.
It's interesting, and that's a lot of different hops. Like, what made him do that?
He wanted a unique beer, so what this beer does is we actually mash for 77 minutes.
Okay.
On the mash instead of 60.
Okay.
Adds a little more to it, nothing too noticeable, but it's kind of a bullet point for the number 7.
Right.
It's trying to be repeated quite a bit. It's got 7.77% alcohol, and that's adjusted through how we balance out the malt bed on the recipe calculator to get 7.77. And it's probably there, most of the time. It's in the 7.6, 7.7 range most of the time. And really, hoping your yeast does its thing all the time.
Right.
And we also boil it for 77 minutes in there, and along with the 7 different hop varieties, that's why it's the Terror of the Seven Seas.
This is a nice imperial IPA. Super bitter. Love it. And especially now when you see everybody's doing hazy IPAs, it's nice to have a good bitter bomb that just makes that. If you're an IPA guy, this is, if you like West Coast, if you like bitter, dank IPAs, this is definitely for you.
Yeah, it's got big hops in there at 177, but they are kind of smoothed out a bit with 50 pounds of honey that's put into the boil in the last couple of minutes.
And how does that affect the
what that does, it gives us a little bit more fermentable sugars as they go in to get that alcohol up there to where it needs to be, and the sweetness kind of balances out the real lingering bitters of the hops that would be there.
Yeah, and when somebody hears sweetness, it's really not super sweet. It's really nice and balanced. It's just a little bit up front. I'm tasting.
Yeah.
And then just that dankness, that bitterness on the end.
Yeah, definitely. It stays on the taste buds for a while.
I can't stop drinking it. Like, it makes me want to keep drinking it. Good thing we brought out pizza to go with this, because this thing's a beast.
Yeah, it is.
So this is early recipe as a home brewer.
Yeah.
How quickly did you move it into the main menu?
We knew this was going on the main menu. We had about 6 or 7 that we've ran at different, as homebrewers. We did like different backyard cookouts and a buddy's wedding, and heck, even my own wedding we did. So, hey, it saves you a little bit of cash bringing your own.
Absolutely, I can only imagine.
And this beer was always one of the most popular, and everybody loved it. So there was no doubt I think it was the second or third beer we brewed on the system.
Okay.
I know when we first got the system up and running, we picked one of our IPAs that was just pretty basic. Not a lot of moving parts, because, essentially we went from the big wheel to the semi-truck in one day. And we're like, all right, let's turn the keys and figure out how it works.
Right. And then that's always the fun part is getting that ironed out.
Fun and frustrating at the same time.
Right.
I don't think there's a brew day that we've had that's went, perfect gold all day long. There's always something, whether it's, a pump leaking or, something not boiling quick enough, dropping, a meter and it not working now.
Right.
Turning the wrong valve and mopping the ceiling afterward. That happens.
It does. I've seen some videos online of some mishaps, and you're just like, oh, that's not.
Yeah,
that's never fun.
We've got a couple through our security footage of mishaps.
It's usually I'm scrolling through like Reddit. There's a subreddit where it has brewery. It's called The Brewery. And a lot of people put their security cam footage up of somebody who messed up pretty bad. This one guy, he was trying to serve out of the fermenter, I think, and he pulled the wrong valve, and everything just comes squirting out of this thing at like such a high pressure. And the guy tries to put his hand up onto the thing, and his hand flies back. And the guy literally tries to grab a bucket, and it's just like flying away from him. He can't. And he just, at one point, he just sits there and watches it dump. And that's got to be a brutal feeling. That's got to be a... Have you had a... oh, no. I'm seeing the picture now. That's no bueno. Oh, no. That's never good. Oh, no.
Yeah, that was... Didn't look at the gauge on the bright tank and thought it was vented. And you just open up the valve and whatever.
What's going through your mind at that point?
Shut the valve.
Shut the valve. Beyond that, though. What's going through your head at that point, just as far as outside of closing the valve, like what to do, like how do you salvage this?
I think I benefit a bit because I've worked as a sprinkler fitter on sprinkler systems.
Okay.
So we get leaks all the time with pipes that rupture or burst. So it's second nature to always, before you start doing something, know which valve that you need to shut. But apparently for me, it wasn't second nature to look at a gauge and make sure that it was at 0 instead of 15.
You live and you learn.
Yeah, so it's not that we put systems in order. It's just that I mopped the ceiling for about an hour, and I don't want to do that again.
No, but you'll remember, because I remember the first time I was trying to hook a keg up, and I pulled I did it in the wrong order, and I just got beer all over me. Yep. And I was like, that was the last time that happened. Oh, man.
Which one's that?
This is just It just keeps, these pictures just keep getting better and better. Oh man, I feel bad when that kind of stuff happens, but I can't help but laugh at the same time. It's one of those things you just gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah.
It's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, luckily we haven't had any major. I mean, just during sanitation or during emptying out a tank that we have.
Right.
We haven't lost a beer.
That's always.
We haven't lost
crossed,
a beer
knock on
due
wood.
to accident.
There you go. Knock on wood. So going back a little bit to the Terror of the Seven Seas, with this being the bitter bomb that it is, what do you pair with on the menu food wise?
Man, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. What do you
Like
think
I'm not lying. The Will Special's pretty solid with it.
Yeah, either that or I would say our El Diablo pizza.
Ooh,
which uses spiced sausage. It's got a spicy sauce, and then it's got a swirl of sriracha on it.
Clear you out, man.
It's got the spiced heat to it, but not like the straight up fire heat.
Right.
So
Got the flavor heat.
Yeah, and I think that would cut nice with the hops.
Yeah, that's the thing is like a lot of people like to do spicy and hop, just get it all in there, wash it out, and it's a really nice combo. That sounds like a really good. I like pizza that kind of makes me like lose a little bit up here in my sinuses so that I can smell new things.
Yeah,
like and that sounds like what it would be, but very flavorful as well. Pizza, you got beer. When you're drinking, what is it that you're looking for in a beer?
something enjoyable. Something that when I'm done with the beer, I actually want another one and really don't want to switch up to something else.
Do you like drinking the same beer back to back?
Yeah, if it's a really good beer, I'll drink it all night the same style. That's not to say
I can't do it.
Yeah, that's not to say that the next night I won't be like, I want a different style.
Right, absolutely. No matter the style, you can get tired out on it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could get tired out on the 7 Cs though. So like somebody comes in, they look at this 177.
Yeah.
They might be freaking out a little bit.
We'll give them a little sip just to kind of prove our point.
What would you tell to that person who's a little maybe anxious to try it?
It's got a great sweetness to it. It kind of covers that overbearing hop bitterness. It's just got the perfect little sweetness on it.
It's nice. It's more balanced than it reads in numbers as far as like IBUs and ABV and all that. It is a very well balanced beer.
It is. It worked out nice. It got us the silver medal, which surprised us too.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Like so you get the gold for the Lanyard, silver for Terror 7 Seas.
And I think we only entered 3 beers or 4 beers in that one.
I think so.
Yeah.
And can you enter as many as you want, or how does that work?
You could I think you can enter as many categories as you want, different styles.
Correct. But you can't do 3 double IPAs, imperial IPAs.
No, I think you can, 1 entry per style, but as many styles as they're judging that day.
I can see why this one is silver. Is this a recipe you guys are submitting to GABF as well?
This one and Lanyard are both going to the GABF along with the alt beer.
Nice.
We talked about.
When do you find out about when they get it and how does it go? How does the process work?
We had
as far
to have
as
the beers shipped by the end of August, so they're already either in Colorado or en route to Colorado, but they're probably there. From there, I imagine, since there's so many entries, that they're just all kind of stored in cold storage until a couple days prior judging when they're moved to the categories they need to be in. I know that the Beer Fest, the Great American Beer Festival, is in October, so probably we'll hear. They usually post the results usually night of. Stuff starts leaking out on the social media sites of who won what. And they got quite a few reporters down there, so you should be able night of or as soon as the results are in, get the results for it.
Have you been to a GABF yet?
No.
I've never been.
Would definitely love to, but with the day job, the family, the business, there probably isn't time or money available.
it's a lot. It's a lot to have on the plate to try to get out to Colorado for a few days, and I can't do it. I don't have a family. I have a day job. I do this, but like that you guys are some of the busiest people I know. I can only imagine trying to squeeze that in and getting a whole like basically cross country trip out of the way is a little.
Vacation's kind of you take vacation within a 25-mile radius is pretty much it.
And you call it a staycation, and you're just like you're happy with it. Anything else you guys wanted to get out as far as the Terror of the Seven Seas goes, or Missing Falls before we head to the finale?
Well, yeah, definitely Seven Seas is going to be a constant on the tab, so we will always have this beer. Like I said in the last episode, I was talking with you during commercial on this. We're getting a couple new pieces of equipment in, which is going to really, really increase the hop signature and the head notes on this beer and IPA styles. So we'll be improving this beer here shortly.
I'm excited to see the evolution of what this becomes.
Awesome.
That's been one of my favorite things to see is like how a beer, I try it on day 1 versus day 30. And how consistent it is. It seems like you guys are doing some really consistent stuff. That's the hardest thing to do is just be consistent with it. It's that mix of art and science that it is. And you guys seem to be doing a really good job with it. So I just want to applaud you for that. And tune in next week for the grand finale here at Missing Falls.